the Combat Sports Report. My guest today has built a reputation in the Pacific Northwest as a consistent gold medal performer. On March 21st in Portland, Oregon, he looks to add the title of 169-pound champion to his resume. My guest today, Joshua Medvinsky. Joshua, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm good. I appreciate you taking the time. We have a lot to get into here. First and foremost, if people aren't familiar with you, can you kind of explain a little bit about your background and how you got to where you're at today? I mean, I've come across your profile on Smooth Comp at a few matches of yours, and it just seems like you're always right at the top, if not in first place, right at the top of the podium. I mean, pretty consistently here. So can you kind of talk us through your journey from, day one to where you're at now?
Yeah, of course. So I started off in high school. I did, or actually middle school. I did wrestling for about 4 years, and I didn't do too great in high school. Some time passed, and I got like pretty bored in college, and I wanted to do something similar to wrestling, but the college I went to didn't exactly have a club. So I started getting into jiu-jitsu, and I've been doing that for the last 5-ish years. And yeah, it's been really great. Like a lot of these comps I've gone to, I do it for free. I'd love to do it for the money too, but uh, yeah, it's been a good journey. I feel like I've been doing all right. When I was a blue belt, but I really feel like my purple belt, I broke out a lot more. I won a lot more of the local tournaments, the Revs, the ADCC Open down in Vancouver. So I feel like I've kind of opened up, and I just want to keep improving, keep standing on the podium. And yeah, excited to do this comp.
Absolutely. I feel like a lot of guys kind of they hesitate when it comes time to transition into the advanced division. But I mean, nowadays you're seeing these kids that are like they're 15-year-old blue belts and they're absolute savages. So I mean, you're almost better off just taking the leap and just getting right into the advanced division earlier. So I mean, I can agree. I've seen that you've had the success making that transition. But I feel like a lot of guys they travel kind of across the country to prepare, and you kind of took that a step further. You went to Japan and started training with Iminari and throwing down with sumo amateur champions. So can you kind of talk to me about that trip there? How did you find yourself grappling in Japan?
Yeah, so my grandma actually lives up there in Gifu. So I went to visit her while I was down there. I had to prepare for these butt scooters, these guys that are gonna come out and try to leg lock me. So like who better than one of the best butt scooters, one of the best leg lockers in the world, Iminari. So I grabbed him, I rolled with him a couple times, and I'm all ready. I'm all prepared now. So anytime these guys try to leg lock me, I've already been caught it. It won't happen again. And then for the sumo wrestlers, I knew like some of these guys, they're gonna come in, they're gonna try to muscle me, they're gonna like be cutting 10 pounds day of. So I had to make sure I was ready for that weight difference. And yeah, I felt like if I'm going against a sumo wrestler that's like 300 pounds heavier than me, these guys that are 175 and cutting down, 180 and cutting down, gonna be no problem.
Absolutely. I mean, to be fair, you do have a submission in the gym over Iminari. For those of you that don't know, we did see the footage. He did get it done. So, in terms of that training session, did you feel that you took anything away that you could apply to your game long term, as opposed to just as more of a novelty experience? Did you actually take away some legit skills from the session?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with him particularly, it was like this guy is such a dangerous leg locker that like the second I let him in on my legs, it's just danger zone. But if I'm able to pass my opponent's guard and use that control, use that pins, go to submissions, it it's just a different game that they're not as efficient in. So that kind of taught me a lesson of I gotta put people into my game, which is guard passing and pinning them past their guard, versus sitting on my butt playing legs with them. Like I don't know if you saw Minari, like in half a second he just grabs a rat trap, sends it. So it's like okay, I don't want to be there.
Yes,
Um,
sir. How about on the sumo side of things? I mean, I feel like it's not super mainstream by any stretch of the imagination, but
yeah.
there's a gym I'm familiar with in Missouri. They actually legitimately train sumo. There's a few guys that actually do it here and there. I mean, do you feel if you were to put in some time, you would be able to translate the two, sumo and jiu-jitsu?
So with sumo, I'm gonna be honest, no. Like unless I put on like 400 pounds and maybe start taking steroids while I was at it too. Like it is a game of weight classes, and there have been like some few exceptions where like judo Olympic champions go out there and like do great. But for me, like judo isn't a main part of my game, and also I would have to gain a lot of weight, and I don't really want to do that. So
Fair enough.
I could see myself doing it for fun. There's like Seattle Sumo Club, like fairly close to me. I'd be interested like dropping in over there and like trying it out. But beyond that, I don't think I'd ever professionally pursue it.
All right. Well, my final Japan question, then we'll bring it
Yeah.
back to the tournament here. But Japan kind of has this culture of it's very, very different. I mean, when there's like a live performance, people talk about like the crowd doesn't really like pop or cheer. They kind of just golf clap, and it's a lot more respectful. I mean, could you kind of compare and contrast the two? Because I mean, when you're performing in the sumo, you actually legitimately did perform. I mean, there's a small crowd there. So I mean, how did that experience compare to let's say a grappling industries or something of that nature?
It was definitely like, I mean, it was pretty loud there, but it wasn't as loud as like a grappling industries or ADCC is, where like everyone's screaming on the side. So it felt like a little more low pressure, like low stakes. So I've also competed in like another East Asian Singapore tournament before, but that was in a mall and there were a ton of people. So that was just like anyone in the U.S. But yeah, just a lot less low stakes. So.
Gotcha. I'm just curious. I just see these guys go over to Thailand and compete, and it's like it's a totally different atmosphere. I mean, you're on puzzle mats in front of 7 people. It's just it's night and day, like you said, versus an ADCC Open where it's like there's people taking pictures. It's chaos. But in terms of this bracket coming up here, it's a pretty stacked division here. I
Yeah.
mean, we've got like the who's who of the Pacific Northwest, and then there's some guys from the Midwest that are also studs. What do you feel about your game is going to set you apart from these other guys?
I think the pace I'm going to put on these guys is the biggest thing that's going to put me apart, because anyone can come in, be fresh first 3 minutes, but like the last 3 minutes, the last segments of the match really decides who wins, who loses, especially with refs decision. So being like such a huge part of this rule set. So just knowing when to push the pace, when to try to break these guys. I mean, I'm super excited to compete in this bracket. A lot of these guys I've already competed against. I've won against some. I've lost against some. So super excited to potentially go out there and compete against them.
Okay. So what is it about this tournament that gets you so excited? Is it redemption against some of your losses? Is it the cash? Is it the exposure? I mean,
There's
what gets
one
you?
person. There's one person I got to get back. Samuel Munson. You tap me out in 15 seconds. I got to pay you back. I got to pay you back. I hope we have a good match.
I feel like Sam's got a big target on his back. A lot of people have mentioned his name. They're like, "Oh, get Sam in here, get Sam in here." But I feel like low key, they're kind of like plotting on him diabolically in the background. So we'll see how it all shakes out.
Yeah, he's going really good.
So for the fans who haven't seen you compete before, how would you describe your style? How would you put your game into words? What can we expect out of a Josh Medvinsky match?
All right. So no guard pulling. And then we're going to do it's high level wrestling and high level guard passing. That's going to be my game, as well as, back takes and whatnot. That's also a main staple. But high pace, high level wrestling, high level guard passing. I'm just going to put the pace on these guys.
Okay. And given the rule set, I mean, it's that style is perfect for the way the scoring goes. And I mean, we've seen kind of the advantages of guys that stay on top and kind of don't really have to almost bench press their opponent off as the day goes on. I mean, it definitely helps to be fresher. So, do you adjust your style for specific rule sets? I mean, obviously for this one, your game is kind of perfect. But when you do have a say an IBJJF coming up, do you work a little bit more towards that rule set, or do you send your game regardless?
So I do adjust based off the rule sets. Like if it's an ADCC, first 3 minutes or submissions, I'm gonna be like falling back on legs a lot more, like while I'm guard passing. Versus, if it's IBJJF and I can do a takedown whenever I want, I'm gonna be more aggressive at the start. So it is kind of just playing the rule sets. This rule set, like you said, is perfect. I can just go out there, put a pace on these guys, and either get a ref's decision or a submission early on. But yeah.
Okay. And you've had success across several rule sets here. So I mean, what do you feel separates a good competitor from somebody that's consistently a champion?
I think having a good sense of just where you are in the match. Like some people, if they're down and they're down on the scorecards, there's 2 minutes left. They're not pushing the pace. They're not like hunting and jumping on that extra submission or trying to pass the guard. I feel like that's one thing that sets people apart is just having the mat knowledge, the mat sense to know when to push things and then know when to I don't want to say coast, but know when to not take as many risks, and knowing you're up like in the final 30 seconds. You don't want to do a flying armbar if you're up on the scorecards, you know. So that sort of thing is just having like a keen sense of when to push the when to push the pace.
That makes sense. I feel the same way. Like I think tactically is kind of what separates guys. Like just knowing what's going to win you a decision, what's going to get you the nod at the end of the day, because you are looking for the win. So I do have one final question here for you, and then I'll turn it over to you. But we've all seen your breakdowns of grappling in the wild. We've seen you narrate the Marmot roadside fight. I believe there was a Komodo dragon battle royal of some sorts. So my question for you is, what is the largest animal that you feel you could submit?
The largest animal I feel like I could submit. Okay, this is actually a pretty hard question. I didn't even know I'll prepare for this. It's a good one. Okay, I got one.
Okay.
The largest animal I think I could submit is a black bear. And the reason for that, like a grizzly bear would kill me, a polar bear would kill me, but black bears don't have a lot of fight in them, you know? So if I jump on that back early on and just sink a RNC in, there's a good chance I could get something off.
All right, I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Okay.
How do you feel about a deer? I feel like a deer is larger and like a lot more bitch made.
Yeah, you know? That is actually a good point. I should have said a deer. As long as they don't have antlers, you know, I should be in the clear.
So we're gonna go female deer, black bear is like the range somewhere in between.
Yeah, that's my range. Right, there are certain animals that are way smaller than me that I would not want to fight. Honey badger is one of them. You know, I did a breakdown on them recently. They're like vicious creatures. You know, you don't want to grapple with them.
That's fair. All right, I was just curious. But like I said, I'll turn it over to you now. Now's kind of your time. If you want to shout out any sponsors, coaches, training partners, things like that, shoot. The floor is yours.
Yep. I mean, shout out to the two main gyms I train at. Shout out Definitive, Austin Daffron, combat jiu-jitsu world champion, runs a great gym down there, competition gym, one of the best in Seattle. And also shout out Synapse, Nicholas Germanos. He's a great like technical coach. Always gives me great details. And obviously shout out to my brother. We train all the time. He's one of my best training partners I always go with. We always put the pace on each other. I did want to be in the same bracket as him, but we didn't want to clash in semis, so he unfortunately couldn't join. And then like lastly, I'm not sponsored. However, like I have made my own app called Tap Track, where you can track your rolls for completely free. So go check that out if you guys haven't already. But it's a great way to track your progress. I created it. I'm not sponsored.
All right, cool. So Tap Track, we'll plug a link for you right here. I'll hit you up after the fact. We'll get something for the graphic here. But Joshua, I thank you for the time. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, now you know. Joshua Medvinsky, absolute stud in the Pacific Northwest. We're going to see him test his skills nationally at this point here. If you can make it, hit up Joshua for tickets. You're not going to want to miss it. If you can't make it, tune in on venturecombat.com. Joshua has a promo code. Help him out a little bit. But yeah, if that's all for you, Josh, thank you for the time, and I'll see you in action March 21st.
Yep, looking forward to it. Appreciate you.